أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله يستعينه واستغفر ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد ومن يعصهما فإنه لا يضر إلا نفسه ولا يضر الله شيئا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربي زدني علما. سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم. My dear audiences and my dear friends, brothers, sisters and well-wishers who are watching through Facebook, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. At the very beginning, I express my deep gratitude to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given us opportunity to join this Tafsirul Quran Mahfil, and let us say Alhamdulillah, all praises are for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah, in today's Tafsirul Quran Mahfil, we shall have a discussion on verse number 28, ayat number 28 from Suratul Baqarah. As usual, at first we shall have recitation as well as meaning of this verse, and then inshallah we shall have elaborate discussion on this verse. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. كيف تكفرون بالله وكنتم أمواتا فأحياكم ثم يميتكم ثم يحييكم ثم إليه ترجعون. صدق الله العلي العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين. سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin abdika wa rasulik. I seek refuge, I seek shelter to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the accursed shaitan, from the accursed devil. And I am beginning with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is most beneficent, most merciful. كيف تكفرون بالله وكنتم أمواتا فأحياكم. How you are disbelieving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, moreover you are dead and He has given you lives. ثم يميتكم ثم يحييكم ثم إليه ترجعون. Then He will again give you death and He will again revive you and you will return to Him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said the truth and His prophets and messengers have also said the truth. And we are among the witnesses. All praises are for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All praises are for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the greatest. So this was the recitation as well as meaning of verse number 28 from Suratul Baqarah. In this verse, in this ayat, Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking all the non-believers of the world, all the non-believers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of the world, all the people who do not believe on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all of them have been asked here by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us to worship only for Him, to lead our personal life, family life, social life, state life, as per rules and regulations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given on the Holy Qur'an as well as on Sahih Hadith. And nothing else we have been sent here. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in Suratul Zariyat, verse number 56, all the human being and jinn have been created by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only to do His worship, only to worship for Him. But in this world, what is happening? Human beings have been divided in many parts. One part of the human being who believe on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are called Muslims, Mu'min. And rest of the communities of the world, such as the Christians, the Jews, the Hindus, the Buddhists, the worshipper of trees, the worshipper of sun, the worshipper of moon, the worshipper of hill, all the non-believers on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have been asked here in this verse. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding them about their creation, because before our creation we did not have any existence, and that position has been narrated here in this verse as mautun, death. We did not have any existence in the world. Suppose among us who is 50 years old, about 51 years ago he was not in the world. He did not have any existence. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent him in the world through his parents. So before our birth, we did not have any existence. That has been called here as the dead, as the death. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, all the non-believers of the world who do not believe on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who do not believe on Tawheed. What does Tawheed mean? Imanun bi ilahi wahid. Those who do not believe that our Creator is only one and He is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And here all the non-believers of the world, disbelievers of the world about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have been said that كَيْفَ تَكْفُرُونَ بِاللَّهِ, how you deny Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَكُنْتُمْ أَمْوَاتًا, you are dead. That means you did not have any existence. وَأَحْيَاكُمْ, then I have given your existence. That means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent us in this world. ثُمَّ يُمِيتُكُمْ, then you will again meet death, then you will again die. يُحْيِي ثُمَّ يُحْيِيكُمْ ثُمَّ يُمِيتُكُمْ ثُمَّ يُحْيِيكُمْ, then you will again. That means earlier you did not have any existence. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent you in this world through your parents. That means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you life. Then in the life of here, at one stage you will meet death. And after your death, yuhyikum, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will again revive us. Summa ilayhi turja'un, we shall arrive to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after our death. We shall go to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after our death. So being a Muslim, we must believe that in this world, in the life of here, we have come for a limited period. And after completion of this limited period, we must meet death. And after our death, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will again revive us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding all the people of the world who do not believe on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is inviting all of them towards the Tawheed, towards the oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by revealing this verse. Verse number 28, Suratul Baqarah. Now we shall go with some relevant other verses of Surah from the Holy Qur'an. Those are relevant in today's tafsir. First verse is verse number 145 of Suratul Ali Imran. This verse number 145 of Suratul Ali Imran is relevant in today's tafsir because today we are discussing about our life and death in verse number 28. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in verse number 145, Suratul Ali Imran, وَمَا كَانَ لِنَفْسٍ أَن تَمُوتَ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ كِتَابًا مُوَجَّلًا وَمَنْ يُرِدْ ثَوَابَ الدُّنْيَا نُؤْتِهِ مِنْهَا وَمَنْ يُرِدْ ثَوَابَ الْآخِرَةِ نُؤْتِهِ مِنْهَا وَسَنَجْزِي الشَّاكِرِينَ وَمَا كَانَ لِنَفْسٍ أَن تَمُوتَ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ كِتَابًا مُوَجَّلًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decided everyone's period of life, everyone's time of death. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, no soul meet death without prior permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala written in the book. And those who want in this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them something. And those who want in the life of hereafter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them. وَسَنَجِّي الشَّاكِرِينَ, and they are the grateful and they will be rewarded very soon. That means in this verse number 145, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has turned the Muslims, the Mu'min, as the shakirin. Shakirin means grateful. Who after getting any help from others express his gratitude is called the grateful person. And the Muslims, and before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, only the Muslims, only the mu'min who have brought iman, who brought on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have been termed here as shakirin, grateful. So, those who believe on one creator, those who believe on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will be rewarded in the life of hereafter by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in verse number 145, Suratul Ali Imran. Another relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 185 from Suratul Ali Imran. In verse number 145, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Kullu nafsin zaikatul maut wa innama tuwaffawna ujurakum yawmal qiyamah faman juhjiha anin nari wa udkhilal jannata faqad faz wa mal hayatud dunya illa mata'ul ghurur. The first portion of Surah or verse number 145 is known by every one of us. Kullu nafsin zaikatul maut. We everyone know this portion of this verse. That means all the soul will meet death. All the soul must meet death. That means who have taken birth must die one day. Why people will meet death? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has narrated the same in the next portion of this verse. وَإِنَّمَا تُوَفَّوْنَ أُجُورَكُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. We shall meet death because after our death, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will revive us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give our dues on the day of judgment. Everyone will be given proper dues. فَمَنْ جُحْجِهَ عَنِ النَّارِ وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةَ فَقَدْ فَازَ. In the life of hereafter, on the day of judgment, whoever has been saved from the fire of hell and admitted to Jannah, he will achieve the highest achievement. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. And this life in this world, our life in this world is nothing but a deception. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has termed our life in this world as deception. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. In this life in this world, we are doing many things in order to enjoy happiness, in order to lead our life happily. Someone is deceiving people, someone is committing murder, someone is committing theft, someone is making corruption, someone are involved in the interest business, riba. Someone is grabbing property of others in order to have some happiness, in order to have some enjoyment in the life of here. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has turned the life of here as a deception. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. So among us who are doing sin, who are committing offenses, who are deceiving people, should remember that one day we shall die and meet death, and we shall stand before our only Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in order to give accounts of our activities in the life of here. So this was verse number 185 from Suratul Ali Imran. Now we shall go to verse number 172 to 174 from Suratul Araf. Verse number 172 to 174 of Suratul Araf are relevant in today's tafsir. The discussion on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was going on. And by perusing the whole Qur'an, by perusing the Sahih Hadith, we find that having belief on one Creator, having belief on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the main theme of Islam. And we have been, as in the beginning of this Tafsirul Qur'an Mahfil, I recited a verse from Surah Zariyat, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that I have created all the human being and jinn only to offer prayers for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and nothing else. That means Tawheed, Imanun bi ilahi wahid, keeping belief on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the main theme of Islam. And here in verse number 172 of Suratul Al-Araf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, before going to this verse, let us have a look around our surrounding, around us. Let us have a look surrounding of us. Let us have a look among the world. A portion of the human being of this world are Muslims. They believe on one Creator, that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And most of the people do not believe on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Suppose some ones are Christians, some ones are Jews, some ones are Hindu, some ones are Buddhist, some ones are worshipper of others. That means they do not believe on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Moreover, belief on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the main theme of Islam. And before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sending us in this world, we have given promise, we have given testimony, we have given evidence before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In verse number 172 of Suratul Araf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَإِذْ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ زُهُرِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ وَأَشْهَدَهُمْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ أَلَسْتُ بِرَبِّكُمْ قَالُوا بَلَىٰ شَهِدْنَا أَن تَقُولُوا يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ إِنَّا كُنَّا عَنْ هَٰذَا غَافِلِينَ أَوْ تَقُولُوا إِنَّمَا أَشْرَكَ آباؤنا من قبل وكنا ذرية من بعدهم أفتهلكنا بما فعل المبتلون وكذلك نفصل الآيات ولعلهم يرجعون. In verse number 172, 173 and 174, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَإِذْ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ جُهُرِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ وَأَشْهَدَهُمْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, before sending us in this world, as we know, in verse number 13 of Suratul Hujurat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Ya ayyuhan nasu inna khalaqnakum min zakari wa untha wa ja'alnakum su'uban wa qaba'ila lita'arafu. O people of the world, obviously I have created you from one male and female, and I have divided you in nations, in communities, so that you may have introduction with you. That means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the whole world, whole people, through one male and one female. That is one male, our father Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, and one female, mother Hawa alayhi salam. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created our father Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, before sending us in this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave a touch on the back of Adam, on the back of Hazrat Adam alayhi salam. And all the human being came out from there before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That means in past, all the people in past who died, they were present there. And at present, who are now living in this world, we were also present there. And after our chapter, when our sons and daughters, their sons and daughters will come in the world, the future generations who will come in the world, they were also present there. That means all the human beings before sending in this world appeared before our only creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when all the people were present before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Alastu bi rabbikum? Am I not your creator? Qalu bala, we said, obviously, shahidna, obviously, we bear testimony, we give evidence, you are our only creator. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken this promise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken this evidence, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken this testimony from us. Why? أن تقولوا يوم القيامة إنا كنا عن هذا غافلين, so that we may not say in the life of hereafter that we are careless about this testimony. أو تقولوا إنما أشرك آباؤنا من قبل وكنا ذرية من بعدهم, so that they cannot say that we were the only followers of our fathers and forefathers and nothing else. And afatuhlikuna bima fa'ala al-mubtilun, so that we may not say that we committed shirk, we associated partner with you because of our fathers and forefathers. And will you punish us only for the misdeeds of the invaliders, only for those who are the followers of falsehood? وَكَذَلِكَ نُفَصِّلُ آيَاتِ وَلَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. And I narrated this so that you may come to the right way. That means after our death, we shall remember about this promise. I myself had given promise before the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before coming in this world. You have given promise, you have given testimony, you have given evidence that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one creator, He does not have any associate, He does not have any partner, He is the only one creator. That means we gave testimony on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before coming in this world. And every one of us were present there. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us forgiven about this. As soon as we shall meet death, we shall be able to remember this event. So, in verse number 172 to 74, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has narrated clearly that nowadays in the world, many people are Christians, many people are Jews, many people are Hindus, many people are Buddhist. That means most of the people most of the people of this world do not believe on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Moreover, although in this world they are now disbelievers, they are now non-believers of Islam, non-believers on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but before coming in this world, they have given testimony, they have given evidence, they have given promise. Alastu bi rabbikum qalu bala shahidna. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked all of them, am I not your only creator? We have said, bala, obviously, shahidna, we give testimony. But we have forgotten this in this world. So this was verse number 172 to 74 from Suratul Araf. Now we shall go to verse number 98 to 99 of Suratul Hijr. Suratul Hijr, verse number 98 to 99 is relevant in today's tafsir. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ وَكُمْ مِنَ السَّاجِدِينَ وَعَبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. You declare glory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and bow down your head in the soil for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you worship, you do ibadah, you do good deeds until your death. Here the word yaqeen has been used as death. Although the word yaqeen means belief, here the word yaqeen has been used by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to mean death. وَعَبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. And you do your good deeds, you worship for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala until you meet death. This was verse number 98 to 99 of Suratul Hijr. Our next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 11 and 12 of Suratul Mu'min. Here Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, قالوا ربنا أمتنا اثنتين وأحييتنا اثنتين فاعترفنا بذنوبنا فهل إلى خروج من سبيل ذلكم بأنه إذا دعي الله وحده كفرتم وإن يشرك به تؤمنوا فالحكم لله العلي الكبير فالحكم لله العلي الكبير. As at the very beginning of today's tafsir I said that we have two deaths and we have two lives. One death is non-existence of us has been termed as the death, and another death is and another death is as our usual death we will meet. So we have two deaths and two lives. Non-existence is our first death, and meeting our death is our second death. Our taking birth in this world is the first life, and our second life will be started when after our death Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will revive us. On the day of judgment, the non-believers will admit their all guilts. قَالُوا رَبَّنَا أَمَتَّنَا اثْنَتَيْنِ. The non-believers will say, O our God, you have given us two deaths. وَأَحْيَيْتَنَا اثْنَتَيْنِ. And you have given us two lives. فَاعْتَرَفْنَا بِذُنُوبِنَا. And we are admitting our all guilts. We are confessing our all misdeeds. فَهَلْ إِلَى خُرُوجٍ مِّن سَبِيلٍ. Whether there is any way to come out from this fire, that means when the non-believers will be thrown in the hell. The non-believers, disbelievers, the kafir will be sent in hell, in Jahannam. From Jahannam they will say, O Allah, we are admitting our two deaths, we are admitting our two lives, and we are admitting our all sins. Please bring us out from this fire. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say no. Why no? ذَلِكُمْ بِأَنَّهُ إِذَا دُعِيَ اللَّهُ وَحْدَهُ كَفَرْتُمْ. Because in the life of here, when you are invited on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you denied. وَإِن يُشْرَكْ بِهِ تُؤْمِنُوا. And you, when partners were committed with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you admitted that partners. And that day, all the decisions will be on Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the power will be on Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That means, on the day of judgment, when the non-believers, disbelievers will be thrown in the fire, they will admit everything they did in this world. And they will make prayer to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring them out from the fire. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never bring them out from fire, because they were non-believers on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, in today's tafsir, we shall go in verse number 8 from Suratul Jumu'ah. Verse number 8 from Suratul Jumu'ah is the relevant verse in today's tafsir. Here Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, قُلْ إِنَّ الْمَوْتَ الَّذِي تَفِرُّونَ مِنْهُ فَإِنَّهُ مُلَاقِيكُمْ ثُمَّ تُرَدُّونَ إِلَى عَالِمِ الْغَيْبِ وَالشَّهَادَةِ فَيُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. This verse has been revealed by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala regarding the Jews of Medina. The Jews of Medina, Yehudi of Medina, used to say that they are the most nearer, they are the nearest of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed verse that, O Prophet, tell the Jews, since they are the nearest of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, tell them to want death from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because after death they will go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, since they are the nearest. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself answered that they will never want death, because they have done so many sins, so many criminal activities have been done by them. They will never pray for death. And in verse number 18, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, قُلْ إِنَّ الْمَوْتَ الَّذِي تَفِرُّونَ مِنْهُ فَإِنَّهُ مُلَاقِيكُمْ. The Jews who are fleeing away, who are fleeing from death, who are running away from death, this death will obviously meet them. ثُمَّ تُرَدُّونَ إِلَىٰ عَالِمِ الْغَيْبِ وَالشَّهَادَةِ. Then they will return to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who knows everything seen and unseen. فَيُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will narrate everything what they did in this world. So we must keep belief that after expiry of our lifetime in this world, we shall have to meet our death, and we shall go to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in order to give accounts of our activities in the life of here. Next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 1 and 2 of Suratul Mulk. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, تَبَارَكَ الَّذِي بِيَدِهِ الْمُلْكِ وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْغَفُورُ. تَبَارَكَ الَّذِي بِيَدِهِ الْمُلْكِ. All the blessings are on the hand of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the owner of this world, who is the owner of everything. وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. and He is powerful to everything. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created death and life in order to examine who is better in their activities. وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْغَفُورُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most powerful, most forgiving. So, here Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us a limited period of life in this world, and after expiry of this limited period of life, we shall go to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in order to give accounts of our activities in the life of here. This was verse number 1 and 2 of Suratul Mulk. Now, last verse in today's tafsir, relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 1 of Surah Ad-Dahar. Surah Ad-Dahar. هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا. There was a time when man was nothing to be mentionable. That means, at the very beginning of in today's tafsir, I said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has termed in the Holy Qur'an 2 deaths and 2 lives. But we shall meet one death. And one death here has been termed as our non-existence. Our non-existence in this world have been termed our first death. And second death is whenever we shall meet as usual death. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created death and life in order to examine, in order to test human beings who are better in their activities. Now inshallah, we shall go to some relevant hadiths of our beloved Prophet regarding today's tafsir. First hadith is An Umar radhiyallahu anhu قال قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يا ابن الخطاب اذهب فنادي في الناس أنه لا يدخل الجنة إلا المؤمنون. رواه Muslim. This hadith has been narrated by our second caliph, Hazrat Umar radhiyallahu anhu. He said that our beloved Prophet has said, Ya Ibnul Khattab, oh son of Khattab. That means our beloved Prophet asked Hazrat Umar radhiyallahu anhu. Our beloved Prophet called Hazrat Umar radhiyallahu anhu and said, Izhab, go, fanadi fin nas, and make a declare among the people, annahu la yadkhulul jannata illa al-mu'minun. O Umar, go to the people and make a declaration that no one will be entered in the Jannah, in the heaven, until who have accepted Islam. That means who are mu'min. That means in order to enter in the heaven, the first condition is to bring iman. If we do not bring iman, if we do not bring faith on Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we shall not be able to go to heaven. A Christian, if a person dies being Christian, he will never enter in the Jannah. He will never enter in the heaven. A Jew, if he dies remaining as a Jew, he will never go to Jannah. A Hindu, if he dies remaining as Hindu, he will never go to Jannah. A Buddhist, if he dies remaining as Buddhist, he will never go to Jannah. Because the Christians are associating partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Jews are associating partner on Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Hindus are associating partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Buddhists are associating partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And all the religion except of Islam are associating partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they will never be able to go to Jannah until and unless they accept Islam. So this was Rawahu Muslim. عن أنس رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال يخرج من النار من قال لا إله إلا الله وفي قلبه وزن شعيرة من إيمان رواه البخاري. This hadith has been narrated by on Hazrat Anas radiallahu anhu, the famous companion of our beloved Prophet. Hazrat Anas radiallahu anhu, he said that our beloved Prophet has said, the inhabitants of hell who said La ilaha illallah will be brought out from the hell. And moreover, those who have iman, who have faith, who will have faith even as a mustard seed, a minimum iman, whoever will remain in the heart, they will be brought out from the fire. Rawahul Bukhari. That means if we die having faith on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but due to our lack of good deeds, we have been thrown in the hell, but because of our having iman, because of our having belief on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring us out from the hell. This was Suratul. This hadith was narrated in Rawahu Bukhari. Next hadith in today's tafsir is An Aisha radhiyallahu anha qalat qultu ya Rasulullah ibn Jud'an kana fil jahiliyati yasilur rahimi wa yutimul miskin fahal zalika nafi'uhu qal la yanfa'uhu rawahu Muslim. As I was saying, a Christian, a Jew, a Hindu, a Buddhist, anyone who do not believe on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never be able to enter in the paradise, in the Jannah. Because the first condition to enter in the paradise is to bring iman. This hadith will make us more clear. And Aisha radhiyallahu anha qalat. This hadith has been narrated by our mother Ummul Mu'minin Aisha radhiyallahu anha. She said, Kultu, I said, Ya Rasulallah, Ibn Judan kana fil jahiliyati yasillur rahimi wa yut'imul miskin. During the age of darkness, Ibn Judan used to do two good things. He used to keep good relations with his relatives and he used to feed the poor people. Fahal zalika nafi'uhu, whether these two good deeds will make him any benefit in the life of hereafter? Qal la yanfa'uhu, our beloved Prophet has said no. That means a non-Muslim will get no benefit because of good deeds in this world, because of not bringing faith on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our next hadith in today's tafsir is An Abi Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu anna Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam qala hujjibatul nari bishahwati wa hujjibatul janna bil makarihi rawahul Bukhari. This hadith has been narrated by Hazrat Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu, the famous companion. He said, our beloved Prophet has said that the hell has been discovered by enjoyment, by happiness, and the heaven has been covered by difficulties, sufferings. That means, Rawahul Bukhari, to enter in the heaven is very difficult. In order to enter in the heaven, in order to enter in the Jannah, we must do labor. We must work hard. By doing sufferings, by giving labor, by working hard, that means by following the rules of regulation of Islam, we shall be able to enter in the Jannah. And we know following rules and regulations of Islam is very difficult. Whenever we want to go on the right way, we face many difficulties, many sufferings. But if we go to the wrong way, we do not face any difficulties. We do not face any obstruction. So, from this hadith, it has been cleared, in order to enter in the Jannah, in paradise, in the life of hereafter, we must work hard. And whenever we shall start to work in the right way, we shall face difficulties. We shall face sufferings. We shall face obstruction. But whenever we shall work in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and whenever we shall face any difficulties, we shall not give up. We will continue to go on that way, because the way of Jannah, the way of paradise must face some difficulties. And our next hadith in today's tafsir is An Abi Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu qala قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقال لأهل الجنة خلود لا موت وَلِأَهْلِ النَّارِ خُلُودٌ لَا مَوْتٌ Rawahul Bukhari. Whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will complete judgment in the life of hereafter, some people will enter in paradise, some people will enter in hell. And after completion of judgment in the life of hereafter, whenever we shall be able to enter in the Jannah, in paradise, there will be no death. Because in the life of here, after expiry of our life, after completion of our period of life, we must meet death. But in the life of hereafter, there will be no death, either in paradise or in hell. That means when our life in the hereafter will commence, there will be no end in the life of hereafter. There will be no death in the life of here. So, in order to enter in paradise, in heaven, we must work hard. We must try our best. We must try to obey the rules and regulations from the Holy Qur'an and Sahih Hadith, so that we may satisfy our only one Creator. And being a Muslim, we must believe that Talabul ilmi faridatun ala kulli Muslim. Acquiring knowledge for each and every Muslim is mandatory, obligatory. If we do not earn knowledge of Quran and Sahih Hadith, in the life of hereafter, we shall face difficulties, sufferings. So may Almighty Allah give us may Almighty Allah give us strength to follow the rules and regulations of Islam, to follow the rules and regulations of Holy Quran and Sahih Hadith. And now inshallah we shall have prayer to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let us recite Durud Sharif. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma amin. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم اللهم اغفر لحينا وميتنا وشاهدنا وغائبنا وصغيرنا وكبيرنا وذكرنا وأنثانا اللهم من أحييته منا فأحيه على الإسلام ومن توفيته منا فتوفه على الإيمان ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا رب هب لي من الصالحين رب زدني علما أستغفر الله اللهم إني أسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. O our Creator, we have been gathered here in this Tafsirul Quran Mahfil, and we had a discussion from your Holy Quran and Sahih Hadith. We have made many mistakes. Please forgive our all mistakes and accept this Tafsirul Quran Mahfil. Please forgive our all sins and decide for us paradise in the life of hereafter. Please admit us in the paradise without accounts. We are not able to give you any account. We have done so many mistakes, so many sins. Please forgive our all mistakes, all sins. Please increase our sustenance. Please forgive our fathers, forefathers, grandfathers, father-in-law, mother-in-law, all our relatives who died. Oh Allah, you know. You please forgive our all good desires in our heart. Oh Allah, give us all the good things, and we pray shelter to you from the all kind of misdeeds. Oh Allah, accept our all prayers. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.